I'm Dr. Meha Kulkarni, Professor, Civil Engineering Department, presenting lecture on Municipal Wastewater Engineering. The lecture includes 5 modules. In Module 1, we are studying about Introduction to Sanitary Engineering, what is wastewater and what is wastewater engineering, what are the objectives of wastewater engineering, methods of sewage disposal, what are the types of sewerage systems, how do we estimate the quantity of stormwater flow, what are the different materials used for the construction of sewers, what are the different shape of sewers, how to lay and test the sewers, what are the low cost waste treatments are used in sanitary engineering, what are the various sewer appurtenances are using to treat and to ultimately dispose of the wastewater into nearby water bodies, and what are the important questions on all the above topics, and what are the outcomes of module 1. Wastewater is the water produced by various sectors like domestic, industrial, commercial, agriculture, after the usage of water for various requirements. If the wastewater without treatment is suppose disposed of into nearby water bodies or on land, it will definitely pollute the water bodies and also the soil. So before disposal of the wastewater, it should be properly treated, and then only it should be disposed of either in nearby water bodies or on land. So when we come for wastewater engineering, here the role of civil engineer is very critical, because not only supplying of wholesome water to the public is the responsibility of civil engineers, but also what the wastewater produce every day from various sectors has been taken care properly and to be safely disposed of into the nearby water bodies. This responsibility is also transferred to the shoulders of civil engineers. So we have to learn what exactly the sanitary engineering is. Wastewater or sanitary engineering is defined as the branch of environmental engineering where the basic principles of the science and engineering for the problems of the water pollution are studied. The ultimate goal of the wastewater management is the protection of the environmental in manner with economic, social and political concerns. So the left side picture is showing the untreated water, whereas in the right picture we are observing the treatment of the waste water. Then the question arises, when we are disposing the wastewater into the nearby water bodies, the receiving stream has the capacity to treat the wastewater. Why should we worry about the treatment of wastewater then? So necessity for sanitation. What happens? Every community produces both liquid and solid wastes. The liquid portion wastewater is essentially the water supply of the community after it has been followed by a variety of uses such as spent water from bathroom, kitchen, laboratory basins, house, street washings, then from various industrial processes, semi-solid waste of human and animal excreta will produce, or dry refuse of house and street swimmings, then broken furniture, waste from industries, etc. are produced every day. If proper arrangements for the collection, treatment and disposal are not made, they will go on accumulating and create poor condition. If untreated water is accumulating, the decomposition of the organic material, what the wastewater will have, will result into what? Into the production of large quantity of objectionable gases. And these waste also contains nutrients, and these nutrients can stimulate the growth of aquatic plants, and they may contain even toxic inorganic substances also. Therefore, in the interest of community of the city, it is very much essential to collect, treat, and dispose of all the waste products of the city in such a way that it should not cause any hazardous effect on people residing in town and also environment. If we go one step further, what is the importance of sewerage system then? One of the fundamental principles of sanitation is to remove all decomposable matter, maybe solid or liquid or gaseous, so which will be produced in our day-to-day life, and the produced waste should be ultimately sent to a safe place, and it should not cause any nuisance, and the disposal should be in a suitable manner to make it permanently harmless. So sanitation, though motivated primarily for meeting the ends of preventive health, it has come to be recognized as a way of life. In this context, development of the sanitation infrastructure of any country could possibly serve as a sensitive index of its level of prosperity. It is needless to emphasize that for attaining the goals of good sanitation, sewerage system is very, very essential. So the importance of sewerage system cannot be lost sight and cannot be allowed to lag behind, as all the water used by the community has to flow back as the sewage loaded with the wastes of community living unless properly collected, treated and disposed of. This would create a serious water pollution problem. If untreated wastewater is disposed of directly or even partially treated, if the wastewater will have unstable organic matter in it, definitely it will cause serious effect on receiving streams. Dear students, to understand the collection, treatment, and disposal methods of wastewater, it is very much essential to know the important definitions related to sanitary engineering. They are, the first one is refuse. What is refuse? This is the most general term to indicate the wastes which include all the rejects left as worthless. It includes sewage and sewage. One word we can say refuse is nothing but what? It is discarded or worthless matter. If we come for the next one, that is garbage. It's a dry refuse which includes waste papers, sweepings from streets and markets, vegetable peelings, etc. The quantity of garbage per head per day amounts to be about 14 to 24 kg for Indian conditions. Garbage contains large amount of organic and putrefying matter and therefore should be removed as quickly as possible. So garbage means it is a dry refuse. The moisture content won't be present in garbage. So on an average in India, there will be an estimation of 14 to 24 kg. If we come for rubbish, it consists of solid waste from the residences, offices and other buildings. It is mainly a dry and combustible waste. So it includes broken furniture, paper, rags and are included in this term. And rubbish give sense of dry and combustible waste. If we go for sanitary sewage, it is the sewage obtained from the residential buildings and industrial effluent establishments. So being extremely full, it should be carried through underground conduits. So we are laying the sewers underground so that the public won't be affected either by fly nuisance or by objectionable odor. If we come for the domestic sewage, it is the sewage obtained from the lavatory basins, urinals, and water closets of houses, offices, and institutions. It is highly foul on account of night soil and urine contained in it. Night soil starts putrefying and gives offensive smell. It may contain large amount of the organic matter. Sewage is the discharge from the bathrooms, kitchens, wash basins, etc. But sewage does not include discharge from the lavatories, hospitals, operation theatres, slaughterhouses, which has a high organic matter. If we come for sewage, it's a dilute mixture of the waste of various types from the residential, public and industrial places. It mainly includes sewage water and foul discharge from the water closets, urinals, hospitals, stables, etc. And storm water, as all of we know, it is nothing but the runoff water, rainwater after the rainfall, which enters sewers through inlet. Storm water is not foul as sewage, and hence it can be carried in the open drains and can be disposed of in the natural rivers without any difficulty. Stormwater, only during rainfall, it may have some suspended or settlable solids, but stormwater doesn't contain any harmful constituents as they are present in the wastewater. So methods of domestic wastewater disposal, we have two options to go for the ultimate disposal of domestic wastewater. One is either we can dispose by dilution where large receiving water bodies are available. In most of the times, we prefer the domestic wastewater disposal in the large receiving water bodies. That's one option. Or we can go for the disposal of wastewater on land wherever the low-lying areas are available. There, after drying of sludge from the wastewater, so that can be disposed of on land. But preferably, we prefer the disposal of wastewater into the nearby water bodies. Okay, now let us have a look on what are the different methods of domestic wastewater disposal in older days and at present. So we have two methods. One is old conservancy system and second one is modern water carriage system. In old conservancy system, human beings used to carry the waste and they used to dispose of in low-lying areas. But in modern water carriage system, extensively the water will be used to carry the wastewater soon after its generation to the ultimate disposal points. So this is very important question. What are the types of sewerage systems? So sewerage system we discussed, it is a network of sewers in which the wastewater will be carried from source of its generation to the treatment plant and ultimately to the disposal point. So these sewerage systems are classified into three classes. One is separate system, second one is combined system, and third one is partially combined or partially separate system. So in separate system of sewage, in sewer, only the sewage will be carried without mixing the storm water. Purely the wastewater from the various sources will be carried to a set of sewers from its source of generation until it reaches what the ultimate disposal point. But when we come to the combined system, here the wastewater will be mixed with the storm water. So only one set of sewers which carry both. The sewer will carry sewage as well as the runoff water. But when you come to the third one, partially combined or partially separate system, in an area, there are set of sewers which carry only the sewage, that is purely separate system, and in some areas we prefer combining the stormwater with the sewage, where the toxicity will be more, organic loading will be high. If the stormwater will mix with the sewage, definitely it will dilute the sewage, and ultimately there will be less burden on treatment plant and on disposal units. So please understand, separate systems are classified into three classes: separate system, combined system, and partially combined or partially separate system. In separate system, only sewage will be carried. In combined system, both runoff and sewage. And in partially combined system, half of the area will be covered with separate and remaining will be a combined system. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of the separate, then combined and partially separate and combined system? So when we look upon the advantages of separate system, we can go for the size of the sewers, very small, then sewage load on treatment unit is less, rivers are not polluted, and stormwater can be discharged to rivers without any treatment. So if we are not combining, what are the disadvantages? Sewerage being small, difficulty in cleaning them, nothing but the sewers. And frequent choking problems will be there because of their small diameter. System proves costly as it involves two sets of sewers. The use of storm sewer is only partial because in dry season they will be converted into dumping places and may get clogged. So when we come for dry weather flow and wet weather flow, dry weather flow means domestic sewage and industrial sewage collectively called as dry weather flow. If we mix both, it does not contain stormwater. It indicates the normal flow during dry seasons of the year. What is wet weather flow? Dry weather flow is it is purely the domestic sewage and industrial sewage, excluding the stormwater. Wet weather flow means domestic sewage, industrial sewage, and stormwater collectively called as wet weather flow. It indicates the maximum flow of sewage during wet season. So now let us have a discussion on what are the factors affecting dry weather flow. The dry weather flow or the quantity of sanitary sewage depends upon rate of water supply, population growth, type of area to be served, and infiltration of groundwater. So as the rate of water increases, water supply increases, the amount of wastewater in sewer also increases. As the population grows, the amount of water usage will be there, ultimately end up with the more amount of the wastewater. So infiltration of ground, due to this, the water may enter, that groundwater may enter into the sewer lines. So rainfall intensity and duration, area of the catchment, slope and shape of the catchment area, nature of the soil and the degree of porosity, initial state of the catchment, all these factors should be studied. Okay. Now if we go for the materials of sewers, we have different options in the selection of materials for the construction of sewers. They are asbestos, cement, bricks, then cast iron, then cement, concrete, plain or reinforced, corrugated iron sewers, stoneware sewers, steel sewers, plastic sewers, and wooden sewers. So we can either use asbestos or bricks or cast iron, even cement, concrete, corrugated iron sewers, even stone, steel, plastic, and wooden. After laying the sewer line, we have to go for testing of sewer line. So we need two tests. One is smoke test and another one is water test. If we say smoke test, this test is performed for all soil pipes, vent pipes laid above ground. The test is conducted under a pressure of 2.5 meter of water and maintained for 15 minutes. After all, trap reel have been filled with water. The smoke is produced by burning oil waste or tar paper in combustion chamber of a smoke machine. So in water test, this test is performed for underground sewer pipes before backfilling is done. The test should be carried out by suitably plugging the lower end of the drain and filling the system with water. A knuckle band shall be temporarily jointed at the top end and a sufficient length of vertical pipe is jointed so as to provide the required test ahead. Substance of test water may be due to absorption by pipes and joints or leakages at joints